You're never going to break into culture with missionary marketing.
I don't know if this will even be suitable for this.
I told you not to roll your eyes.
I'm nodding my head.
I don't like that ad, and it's like, it's not my fault you don't like the ad. I didn't make it. I made sure you saw it.
Hi, Colts.
G'day, Crush. What's going on?
Well, nothing much. We're just hanging out, having a chat.
This is such a foreign experience. I've often said, I've got a face for radio and a voice for print. So the fact that we're on camera and we're being recorded, this is going to be fun. We have a structure today.
Who's going to go first? Should I ask the first one?
Yeah, unless you want to rock, paper, scissors.
Should we do it? Paper, scissors,
rock. Ah, yeah.
Okay. Mr. Colter, what do you love the most about your job as Chief Strategy and Product Officer?
It's interesting because when I often talk to people about, what I do, it's always hard to describe the role that media plays. Like, so many people still just go like, have a go at you and say like, I don't like that ad, and it's like, it's not my fault you don't like the ad. I didn't make it. I made sure you saw it, so that's kind of my fault. But I think the thing that I enjoy the most about my role, the positive anxiety that comes with it, there's something kind of cool about no 2 days being the same. You actually have an onus and a responsibility to do something that's never been done before. A lot of our job relies on finding competitive advantage for marketers and for clients. And, to do that, you need to do something completely different. I've never met a client that has come to me and said, hey, I've got double the budget and half the targets, so have fun.
And I want to do the same thing again.
Exactly.
I think it's even, yes, we have to get up to speed, but we actually just need to be, curious is so overused, right? But we have to have our eyes open all the time, because you never know when something will mix with a client question or a team's question. And then that's where the magic happens. So that's the bit I love. So that's the pressure I feel is, how do I stay on top of things, or a wide range of things, and cultural trends, economic trends, etc., because that's where the magic happens.
Deliberately try to burst your echo chamber. You walk a mile in other people's shoes, and I think it's the fun part of our job.
Next question. Oh, good one. How would you define culture in the context of marketing and advertising? How would you describe it, and how do you assist in shaping it? The way I would think about that question is, how can you, understand the codes or the signals that your audience is telling you? Like, what are they into, and what does that tell you about them? So I think, a really obvious example would be, you wouldn't have to be a behavioural scientist to know that savvy girl budgeting or girl math, beauty, travel dupes were all kind of like signals coming that people were really struggling with the cost of living. So I think it gives that human edge to it. So I think if picking up on those longer term signals is really important.
Yeah, I love that.
Next question. Whose role is it to break into culture? Client, media, or creative agency?
Look, the cop-out answer is it's actually all three. But you're never going to break into culture with missionary marketing, first point, right? So you need to have, marketers that are brave, that, value big thinking and ideas and want to contribute something to culture. But then you need the right magnetic idea, something that people actually want to consume and is worthy of their attention. So obviously the creative agency needs to, step up to the plate there, because you can have all of the bravery in the world, but if it dies in execution, what's the point? And then lastly, naturally, the media is the message. You've got to be able to find the audience in the right context, the right mindset. You've got to be able to kind of bring it to life beyond, just a one-dimensional view of what the idea can be. And I think when all of those things are humming together, you can't actually tell who helped make that break into culture. Was it the marketer? Was it the creative? Was it the media? No, because they were all working so harmoniously together to actually achieve that outcome.
And the role of partners and creators, without making it, once again, the right answer. But to your point, whoever needs to be in that room to make it the best experience for the audience, then that's who needs to be in the room. And I think some recent examples where that bravery from clients come through in real life products.
Yeah.
Or, Aldi merch recently. That's not something you can just accidentally quickly pop up.
Yeah.
Or Tay-Tams, and whether it was, I don't even know if it's a real product, was it? But that requires actually full planning, and that's real commitment from client. They're going to have to stakeholder manage.
Oh, the stakeholder management and some
yeah.
of this stuff. Like, you can just imagine like going to a CFO just being like, yeah, we're going to create a Tay bag of Tim Tams, like
For a limited time only.
for a limited time only.
Oh, look at that.
Next. All right. So in your experience, what role do brands play in shaping or participating in online culture, and has this evolved over time?
Ooh, tricky one. The cynic in me says that as soon as brands participate, can it still be considered culture? Is it authentic?
If a business has a culture of contributing to culture, that sets a benchmark and a culture within the business to continue to try and do that. And so it's like, it helps you actually understand the brand better because you understand how the brand behaves in the wild, which I think is interesting.
Probably back to that point of the fear of culture is a hashtag or a trend.
Yeah.
And it's because those have a role too, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And some brands, that is their strategy on the daily trending topics, great. But then you've got another brand like I love and admire DYD and what they're doing on TikTok, because that's where they're creating culture, because it's really just what do our customers care about and what should we be, they're almost creating their own mini culture.
Yeah.
I guess that talks to your point of putting a stake in the ground, having a say and having a point of view.
Yeah,
and your
not
fans
changing
respond.
who you are. Like Telstra on TikTok is great because they act like Telstra. Like they're not trying to be someone different. Like more people should be trying to, figure out what's their role and how they can turn up authentic. To a point where it's like, I know who this brand is, and I know what they're trying to achieve.
Ready for your next one?
Let's go.
TikTok is often referred to as a platform where cultural moments begin. What forces do you think contribute to sparking trends versus long-term cultural movements online?
So, I think, for me, movements are always, by nature, human beings are designed to constantly evolve and seek something special. I was actually watching a TikTok the other day of Jimmy Carr talking, and some of his content is really profound.
Oh,
a lot of comedians are super smart, but
Yeah.
and he was saying this thing where he was like, if you think about all of the people in history before the 1900s that you respect and admire, none of them got the simple pleasure of a hot shower, but every single day we have that same simple pleasure. And I think that just talks to the nature of, we've got life better than it's ever been, but we're still constantly chasing something better and trying to push forward. So there's always a positive momentum and tailwind within culture to try and seek something better and push for a better world, whether that's more inclusivity, whether that's, better experiences, whether that is, better way of living, all of that sort of stuff. I think there's a bigger sort of movement that sits behind it. When it comes to moments, I actually just think that that's novelty. It's what's the thing that's catching my attention and what's interesting. And some of it can be sparked by news and what's happening in cultural events. And there's something happens and there's an immediate, initial visceral reaction to it, and so therefore you get more of the social cause moments and stuff like that across the years, because more and more people see it. There's a groundswell that it's something that everyone's doing and it's a bit of fun. All right.
Oh, next
powering
question.
Through. How good is this? You both work with clients of varying sizes. How does your approach to considering TikTok on a media plan vary for small versus large businesses?
Good question. So small versus large businesses, probably relative.
Couldn't agree more. The only difference is how big can you go and how big can you afford?
Right? How many creators or how many experiments can you do?
The tier of creators that you can access. Everyone has eyes for the upper platinum tier of creators, but sometimes probably needs to focus on, who is more fit for their brand at that stage of their maturity. I do think, though, there is also a flip side of that, because sometimes if you're a huge brand, even though they should be on TikTok, they're prioritizing other channels like TV and, out of home and cinema, because that's right for them. Let's go on to the next one.
What is something happening in culture right now that gets you excited?
One that I will talk to, and I respectfully request that you don't roll your eyes. So I'm very interested in the world of generative AI and how fast that stuff is. It's going to reshape how humans experience storytelling. And I think that is such an interesting topic to talk about. And when you're thinking about, marketing, branding, and the future of how how you ensure that you are experienced in the way that consumers and society will expect. Getting ahead of that is going to be something you need to move forward on.
The thing that's getting me really excited is self-confessed bookworm. Love reading every day. But book talk, but specifically the kind of fantasy world.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Of young women. I don't know if this will even be suitable for this. So it might be irrelevant.
This will be on the NSFW.
I was about to say it has an uplifting good part, but I think seeing young women embrace their sensuality and desires, not even from a explicit sense, just going, I'm a young woman,
Yep.
I know what I want, and I will tell the publishing world what I want, and I will proudly shout about it. For me, as a woman of the kind of generation above, and probably something that I wish we could have done when we were younger, it's so empowering, so exciting, and I think a huge opportunity for brands to listen. And it's probably why I keep using beauty examples, because they are at the cutting edge of that example. But I absolutely love the opportunity for brands to pick up, because, I mean, talk about understanding what's going on inside your audience's head. These young women are shouting about it from the rooftops, what they want to read. And I think also the bigger cultural impact is it's going to shape publishing for the future and change who is writing and give voices to kind of more people. Lucky last. Please draw your favourite trend from the past year on the whiteboard. You'll then take turns guessing what the other person has drawn.
This is going to be so revealing.
Oh, favourite trend.
Favorite trend? Oh, man. Oh, my God. Okay, so, like, you can see why I work in media and not creative. Oh, look at you. Did you go to art school?
No, I just have a 5-year-old, so... Okay. Mine's a very mainstream one, but... Probably one of the longer...
Girl math? Nailed it. All right.
Okay, now you've stitched me up.
You ready?
Let's see.
All right, look at that. Yeah, exactly.
Is that a share button on the side? Love?
Yeah, I've got like 2,417,000 likes. Like you've got
Corn.
It's
corn.
it. It's corn. It's a big lump of nums. It's got the juice. All right, that is us.